What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology of the Titans action, spawning the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Moore. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Loki. His name is SunTzu. The map is Mediterranean, and this is a best of 3 for the Champions League. And this is a relatively important game. I'll go out on a limb and say this is a relatively important game. I'm not sure if it's been posted yet or if it's even going to be posted, but there's some super interesting tiebreaker scenarios that could potentially happen in the Champions League on both sides of the bracket. So players, they need to win every possible game they can get their hands on at a shot at the playoffs. There's gonna be some incredibly talented people, or talented Age of Mythology players. People who are good at Age of Mythology are talented people as well. Yes, there are some very talented people who could potentially miss out on the playoffs by simply potentially dropping one game. So it's important to win every game. I believe you're going to need a minimum of 4 games to be to get that 4th spot in the playoffs, and then on top of that, you're going to need to get as many or have as little losses as possible in order to win in those tiebreaker scenarios. Now, just to clarify for you people at home, if you end up with the same score as another player, it will go on head-to-head record. So if you've got 15 points, they've got 15 points. It's only 2 of you. Whoever won that game between those 2 will take the higher position. However, if there are 3 people who are tied, then it will go on games for and against. So if you've got more games on the plus, you will go on the top spot there. If there are some ties in that regard, which I think there is a potential that it might happen, there will probably be a tiebreaker game. But, yes, we will see. We will see what happens. I don't know if there will be that. I mean, maybe Chrono JJ's in the chat if he wants to divulge some of that information, if he even has or not. Don't know. Haven't checked the Discord recently, but it's interesting. I've just read in the chat that, do you know that Moore is only 19 years of age? I did not know that, and does not surprise me. Does not surprise me in the slightest here. Moore, very talented Oranos player, been playing very well. He is in the running. And SunTzu is in the running for the player to have lost the most series and won the most games. The player who has lost the most series, I don't think he has dropped a series 2-0 once. I think he's taken a game off every single person in this tournament and just not been able to clutch out the win on the final map once. And that's unfortunate, but he's going to go for it. This seems to be SunTzu's problem here, as a lot of players have been taking Mediterranean against him. He's a Loki one trick, only plays Loki, and a Loki on Mediterranean is a difficult god to have success with, especially against gods like Oranos, where we do see Prometheus coming through, 336 here. We do have foresight. He's quite a bit faster for SunTzu, so we'll have that advantage in advancing first, but he still is playing Loki, or Norse, I should say, so he does have the disadvantage of having to make longboats instead of bareems or triremes. Can't get access to those. Such is life, though. And we see Manners coming up, Docks coming up as well for Moore, and he'll be pumping out those bareems very fast. We do see a forward oracle here for Moore. He realizes that there's trolls coming out, so he doesn't have to worry too much about anything. I love these 2 docks here for SunTzu, right next to each other. Playing defensive is key here for Loki against Oranos. You just want to have your longboats. You want to chill here. You want to make sure you're getting the fish, defending your fish, not engaging the Oranos player at all, because you've only got 5.5 speed compared to, what is this? I always forget, 7.25 speed. So if you move out like SunTzu's doing right now, you're going to be in a world of pain when the Bareems pop out. And we do see a couple of Bareems popping into the docks first, and he's going to pop out and chase these down and do a lot of damage to him. More longboats are coming in though. He does have the Healing Spring, so if he keeps the longboats alive, he can just sit underneath there and he'd be a little bit fine. Almost sniping a fishing ship though. He does manage to snipe it. Those Bareems are out now, and SunTzu is going to be attempting to fight this one. Nice micro from Moore, pulling the Bareems back, and now SunTzu is going to be retreating away. And still trying to put the pressure on. He does still have the advantage in the numbers, so he's going to have to be very careful here. Still going after those fishing ships. Nice micro pulling him back, but Moore is attacking multiple different longboats at once. Really smart play there. And there's the shockwave going to give Moore a huge advantage on the water at this point. And SunTzu going to attempt to speed walk his longboat back there. Not doing it too badly, does manage to get it back, and he's going to start healing up this longboat very fast. And hopefully SunTzu just plays very defensive here, masses out those Hursa behind this, gets heroic age, and hits that timing with the flying weapons on the land with those Hursa. Is kind of the only way to play Loki on this. You're never going to win the water is essentially how it goes. When you do see the fishing ship getting sniped that are out of position there, we have the longboats attempting to fight back here, but he needs to pull these Bareem back into range of these docks. Nice micro from Moore here, pulling these Bareem in, and he does manage to pick off one of those longboats there, and also going to snipe one of the fishing ships. Does snipe it as well. That's absolutely huge. As more Bareem are slowly piling in here. If we check out the population here, it's 75 to 57, so a big advantage here for Moore, who's able to keep pushing through SunTzu's longboats here. He's still retreating back, trying to keep Moore underneath the dock fight. There's so many low HP Bareem here. This is just a testament to Moore's micro, and SunTzu needs to just get the he just needs to sit here under Alt S. I haven't seen that done enough. Sit underneath your docks in Alt S. That means that the boats cannot pull you back out, and then you just focus fire with a couple of ships and pick off those low HP ones. And he has managed to do quite a nice job here. He can pop those fishing ship back out at this point. And there he goes. So nice play by SunTzu, still alive here, healing back up his boats. Every single moment of the game that Moore is not attacking him is absolutely huge for SunTzu, but he is low on these resources here. For some reason, he's looking like the Prometheans, hitting the longboats now. And while this is happening, the Bareem move in, yet again, going to be hitting these fishing ship. Does snipe yet another one of those fishing ship, and that's huge there. But SunTzu still fighting underneath at least one dock fire here. Nice micro pulling the longboat back, low HP one back. Still a lot of low HP Bareem here, not a lot of low HP longboats though, forcing Moore out yet again. And SunTzu still needs to sit underneath this dock fire. You do not want to be attacking the Oranos player just yet, even if you've got a numbers advantage, which he does not have. And we've seen 76 to 68 population, so still big advantage for Moore in the open for waters here. The micro can be a big difference here. As you can see that SunTzu is attempting to micro back, but it's just not working as Moore is pulling SunTzu in here, and SunTzu is going to have to retreat yet again. And while he's retreating, he takes so much damage. When he loses another longboat that can't get healed back up, and as I was saying, there's no reason, no rhyme or reason for SunTzu to be attacking. He does not need to. It's not winning the water is not the win condition here at all. And I'm sad to say that we haven't worked that one out yet. Still no Hursa getting built for SunTzu. Very low on the food here. Very low on resources in general. How is his upgrades? He's got hand axe, he's got pickaxe. More Bareem coming in here as SunTzu coming out. Nice micro from Moore, pulling those ships back. Nice micro from SunTzu, not falling for it. And he's sitting in a good position here with a nice concave, picking off a lot of those Bareem. The Bareem are getting picked off very, very fast as well as the longboats are falling. But the extra damage and HP by these longboats is mattering quite a bit here, as he is managing to take down quite a few of Moore's ships, and he does get a huge victory here now, sitting 14 boats to 11 Bareem, and we see another one over here getting picked off. Nice play by SunTzu. He still does not need to push out. He does not need to push up, but he's going for it. And you can see a shockwave potentially coming down. He doesn't have it, Moore doesn't have access to it just yet. But we are seeing him making another aggressive attack here as well. Just going for that focus fire micro here, not pulling any boats back is exactly what you want to be doing. And the Bareem are all falling to SunTzu, who has managed to bide his time long enough here. Looking like he's able to take down Moore's Bareem situation here nicely. So well played by SunTzu. He's able to go after those fishing ship as well. There are 3 docks now for both players. And we'll see if SunTzu's going to sneak out some fishing ship while he's got the advantage here. We've got a military barracks coming down for Moore as well. He is coming over onto this location. We have seen that Moore has stopped producing Bareem for the time being here. SunTzu going to have won the water. A big advantage here for SunTzu, getting up that armory as well. See what he goes for, dumping, stopping these villagers from gathering from the gold here. What's the situation here? SunTzu running out of gold. He may hit a timing. Moore may hit a timing. He is going after these Bareem, sitting in this corner here, looking like the longboats are trying to get in onto this, and they are managed to do so. 15 to 7. A shockwave coming in here, but that's not going to be a problem. SunTzu still going to keep going after these here. We see Bareem's getting built back up yet again for Moore, who is getting his town center up here. Do we see more of these? No longboats getting built here for SunTzu, as he's able to start taking down the town center. Norse does not have the advantage of dodging these docks. I think they have a track rating of 5.5, so that longboats cannot dodge dock fire by running back and forth, as opposed to like a Bareem or a trireme can. Now we've got some units moving up onto here, and SunTzu picks incorrectly for which gold mine to move to. We don't have any unit. We've got some Herso getting built here, but he's going to get pushed off this gold mine. Has to move up to the top one. And the longboats starting to get outnumbered by these Bareem yet again, as fishing ship have been built, because SunTzu felt like he has the advantage here. He's going to have to keep building those longboats to defend against this, though, as these Bareems coming out, they will get pushed back. Now the army here forcing in onto this. We see those Hiromo Milo very, very strong, and SunTzu fighting this one, though, for some reason. Needs to move in with those Herso. He does have Eyes of the Forest coming through instead of Herso as well. Not the best of upgrades. Only gives Norse heroes line of sight, which is really not that important in the scheme of things. Some of those hero units getting picked off, but looking like the villagers getting the short end of the stick there, picking off 2 units. They're losing 3 villagers. Really nice play here by Moore, who's now got a bunch of those Murmillo coming in here. He's not going for any Terma in this position. The Bareem still fighting in this location here as well against the longboats, and SunTzu scrambling a little bit to fight this off. And nice play by Moore, as he's able to pick off all of these Herso nice and fast, not getting any myth units spawned or allowing them to happen. Potentially going to get one from Egghill Rhyme Tamer, but maybe not fast enough. We see low HP units getting picked off of here. There are 2 Ox Carts in here, so sniping one is not going to be that big of a deal. Meanwhile, raids onto the fishing ship that were coming here from Moore. He's got the multiple attacks coming in on this position here, and there's just not that many buildings here producing units for SunTzu. Those villagers all getting picked off here, as these Murmillo doing so much damage here, and more of those Murmillo are coming out for more. Can't deal. I need to pick up a different word when I'm casting more. Don't know what it is. All right. Bareem's now sniping some of these fishing ship as well, just doing so much economic damage onto SunTzu, who is trying to get out those Herso as best as he can. He's still got a lot of villagers on wood here, and maybe at this period with Moore going so heavy onto the water that he could just give this up and then try and make his way to the next stage, chilling underneath this location here. The Bareem going after some of those Herso. The longboats, all nice micro from Moore, pulling SunTzu out of this location here. And not paying attention there. We do see Valor coming in. Does have a Valkyrie spawn, as the hero Mamilla going after it instantly. And we are seeing SunTzu able to hold for the time being, but he's still trying to pump out those longboats. But all of those fishing ships do seem to have been picked off or having to get garrisoned into the docks. Meanwhile, just worrying about this gold mine is the big problem here. But he has managed to get out 8 Herso, which is huge in his abilities to defend and all of those good things. But, I mean, if SunTzu just took the villagers off wood here, he's got the armory up already, took the villagers off wood, put them onto food somewhere. There are some deer up here. If he just moves up onto those deer, or even over onto these deer, I mean, he's got the army now. Does not need this much wood, does not need access to the water here. He's still making longboats. He just needs to get Heroic Age and do what he does best, which is just all in Oranos plays with those Herser. But he's not opting for it here. What's the food situation? SunTzu sitting very low on the food, very low on the gold as well. Having to rebuild those houses. Nice snipe here with the Murmillo, but they will take more damage from the Herser on their way out of the base here. So trying to get away, but they do turn around and decide to fight. He'll lose most of these Murmillo here. He's not going to get that many Herser pickoffs as the villagers do expire on that berry there. He's got this ox cart. Just move these villagers over here. He's going to be totally fine. He does pop those longboats out yet again, moving forward onto this location. But while this is going on, Moore is targeting down the fishing ships on the back, and SunTzu trying to attack these Bareems on the front. Like I said, you don't want to get into that kind of a fight against the Atlanteans, who just thrive under the movement speed, under like the multiple attack locations here. Just give up the water at this point. There's no real big advantage to it, especially when you have those crazy strong Heroic Age timings, hitting gold mines and things like that. But third town center now coming up for more, opting to go third town center just after clicking up through Thea. So that's going to be huge because SunTzu has got no Heroic Age inside here as he's sitting so low on the resource. 105 of 105 population. They're grabbing his second town center now as well. The Stymphalian bird's going to be quite a bit of a pain here. SunTzu not microing his villages either, as he's got oftentimes. We see a lot of players not realizing they have idle villages when they have idle fishing ships, but he does notice that one as the fishing ships come out and the longboats chasing everything out. Looks like he has finally won the water here. He's dealt with that. He just wanted to win the water in one game, and he has managed to do so. But we may see some of those siege marine coming out now to deal with those longboats, and there's no answer to that for SunTzu until he gets to the Heroic Age. He's not going to want to go through Njord to get those Kraken out. The town center is up though, so villagers going to move up here and eat these deer underneath this town center. Keep trying to pump out. Oh, he's getting some ox carts out. Trying to pump out those villagers, get the food income, doing all that stuff. Again, these villagers can probably come off this wood here. You can see SunTzu sitting with 600 wood in the bank. He's moving over here. Probably going to grab this town center or something like that with that wood and that gold, but we haven't seen it happening just yet. And with Moore losing the water here, it's not the biggest deal. He's sending the Stymphalian bird in. That's going to be a big mistake. We do see the longboats going after those fishing ships. Had the longboat tried to take down the Stymphalian bird, he would have been able to. But while this is happening, the Stymphalian bird raids onto the fishing ship are very real here. And we do see those Stymphalian birds able to take out or help take down those boats. And now we've got heavy Murmillo as well coming in here. Do they have any more upgrades? No copper mail or anything like that. The Herser getting sniped as well, as it looks like he's sort of out of position. Now there's a Stymphalian bird. We've seen this before. I've cast SunTzu more recorded games before, and the Stymphalian bird just comes and sits on these gold mines, and SunTzu just doesn't have any response to it. He doesn't have any throwing axemen. He's getting Axe of Muspel out with these throwing axemen here, so he will be able to pick it off. He needs to wait for it. There's still idle villagers here, and now the siege Bareems coming after these docks as well. As the town center is in range, and looks like the Murmillo going after the town center does get a troll spawn, has hammer, so that's huge. So the trolls are a little bit stronger than normal here as the Herser pop in and out of the town center trying to deal with this. Some of these dwarves getting picked off as well, helping out with the fight here. Now the throwing axeman coming after the Stymphalian bird. He's got 3 of them with the Axe of Muspel. He has researched it, so he will be able to take down this Stymphalian bird. Use this shockwave though in order to try and keep it alive for a little bit longer, but another throwing axeman does come in, and he will be able to snipe this Stymphalian bird in the end of the day. But the Stymphalian bird trades quite nicely there as well. That looks like SunTzu has managed to hold on to this position here. Coming over here onto this top of this location, has spied these deer, these what are they called? Citizen. And I'm not going to be able to get too much out of that. Just do see one random Stymphalian bird flapping over here. And we do have Bragi though. Question is, does SunTzu have any avenue here? And I'm going to suggest that we're probably going to see a Mythic Age coming through fairly soon for more. This is another one of those matchups where you want to go through Hecate, so you can get the those Lampades to deal with Battle Boar or anything like that. And SunTzu sitting at 99 of 130 population. He needs to get out more of those military units. Meanwhile, losing all of his docks here as well. This water is very important at this stage of the game, because if you get Heroic Age, or sorry, if you get Mythic Age, you get those siege ships to take down town centers. It can be very, very big. We do see that the siege Bareem's coming in here as well to help take out. I think they are actually in range to hit the town center without the siege Bareem's. And because the what they call Nomilla were tanking town center fire, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here onto this town center. See if he goes for it. That looks like it is probably close enough. I haven't seen him click onto it yet though. He's not attempting to, but it's looking like the Hersa getting picked off yet again. The Battle Boar going down. Villagers pulling back. This gold mine is just about to expire. And there's so many Stymphalian birds here. It's just not enough of the throwing axeman. He does have heavy throwing axemen out. And we got a heavy destroyer coming in now as well, as the town center will go down. And SunTzu is struggling at this point, sitting at 92 population here, as Moore is just getting so very far in front. He does have all the Drakkar out though, able to help take these ones down. But the Stymphalian birds sitting up, just absolutely abusing the fact that they can fly. And he actually manages to pick off so many of these Drakkar that only have 23 pierce armor, trying to deal with the Stymphalian birds, but able to run away with that 7 range. So very, very important. But now going after the temple here, which is the only temple of SunTzu, can be able to prevent those Battle Boar from coming out as well. It's going to be close. This Battle Boar does get prevented at 95% there. It would have got picked off instantly anyways by those Stymphalian birds. So they have those bonus damage against myth units at 200%, and they do so much damage. But SunTzu is really under the pump here, moving his villagers over onto this gold mine. He still has his flaming weapons, but he just does not want to use it to stabilize here. And even if he did, I'm pretty sure Moore's army would win that. It does get a Valkyrie spawn here, but it doesn't matter because Moore can probably just deal with that. Do we have any sort of upgrade? No, Moore's got a lot of wood in the bank. And just get out a bunch of those farms if he wants to, which he is doing. Should get out. He should consider getting heavy archer ships out as well. I always forget what that upgrade is called. Arrow ship cladding. And now the Stymphalian birds flying over here. See the wood villages. There's really not that many wood locations that you could be gathering from. You move over and just take out the ox cart from this location and shut down the gold from SunTzu as well. He sees that was going after villagers first. I guess he can pick those off because he kind of one-hits them. There's no throwing axemen over here at all. And SunTzu's economy is going to get completely shot here. He's not retreating away from this. He's trying to defend his home base, but he's losing all of these villagers. Does pick off that ox cart. And now the villagers are trying to retreat away from the Stymphalian birds, but it's just way too late. Has one throwing axeman, which will get sniped pretty much instantly. If not, well, I guess it gets one hit there, but the throwing axeman not paying attention here. Moving over onto this gold mine, but with no anything here. It's going to be really big. And now there's the flaming weapons coming in to attempt to take down these Stymphalian birds with the throwing axemen. He does manage to snipe the majority of them with 10.35 damage there, plus the extra 200% damage, bonus damage against the Stymphalian birds or the flying units. So it does help out quite a bit, but the Stymphalian birds still manages to win. 4 town centers now up for more. He's thrown down his Hesperus tree in the front here as well, pushing SunTzu back even with the flaming weapons. And these Drakkar, they have 42 hack damage. A lot of damage there indeed, as he is pushing in with these Murmillo and destroyers, throwing down a palace in the face of SunTzu. and he's managed to get an ox cart over here, but only has those 5 gatherers there. So very little amount of citizen, or villagers I should say, and SunTzu's not even making any more. He's just trying to make military units here. He's got nothing left, not producing any units at all, and the flaming weapons is just about to expire as those destroyers will be able to take down this town center. So very, very fast, and SunTzu looks like he will not be able to take this first game. I don't see it for him, sitting at 54 population to 162. That says it all, and now more going to be throwing up towers behind this as well, just to solidify his advantage here, getting watchtowers out. SunTzu making some fishing ship while this is going on to keep his economy going, but he's about to lose his hometown center. He's still trying to make those throwing axemen, even though he's got no wood economy. Well, he's got a little bit of wood economy, 13, but he's got barely any gold economy. Those Stymphalian birds coming over, sniping another ox cart here as well, shutting the gold down. The town center goes down. This is the only drop-off site that SunTzu's got left here, and that is where SunTzu decides to tap out. GG, well played by Moore, managing to stop the onslaught that SunTzu had. SunTzu managed to win the water eventually here, but I don't think it was fast enough, and he just took too much damage on that second gold mine. Unfortunately, picking the wrong side to go as Moore came down this side first. Could have gone up to this side and had a lot more time on that gold mine without getting kicked off it, but what I think would be the right idea here would have been for him to build a second ox cart and go to both separate gold mines. And if he gets pushed off one, just retreat back and pretend like that's all he has, and puts those villagers over onto gold and sends some wood villagers over onto the top gold mine that wasn't getting attacked, instead of taking a gamble on one gold mine there. Alternatively, I still think the better idea here for SunTzu, instead of trying to win the water like he did, you just defend and you go even on the water, sitting with those 6 or 9 fishing ships that you could get out onto these locations here. 1, 2, 3. Not grabbing these perch. You can sit underneath Dockfire and just defend for days, getting out Herser and then getting an early heroic age to get flaming weapons onto your opponent's gold mines would be a much better idea, and get those walls up over on one side and then hit the other side strongly with the Hall of Thanes, or even hit the hometown center here would have been an option as well. He did not go for that and did not get that win. Still, obviously, Loki is one of those gods that I feel like has not had any innovation since 4 SETI Hall of Thanes Herser were discovered. I feel like we're still waiting for that innovation by Loki's players, and it's not happened. And SunTzu is definitely coming up with some ideas, but just not quite there yet. And Moore gets this game, takes the first series. Move on to game number 2 very shortly. If you're enjoying these games, please consider hitting that follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will be seeing you in the next game very shortly.